Have you ever wondered, what if one morning you opened your eyes and realized that this world no longer belongs to humankind? The skyscrapers that once lit up the night now stand silent in the dark. Streets once alive with traffic have become deserted highways covered in wild grass. Airports, train stations, and bustling city squares, monuments of human civilization, are now nothing but ruins of shattered glass, twisted steel, and deep paw prints carved into the dust by the new rulers of Earth, dogs. That day, history called it the overthrow. It all began with a mistake. In the year 2083, humanity reached the peak of biotechnology and artificial intelligence. Inside a secret laboratory in Geneva, some of the brightest minds on Earth launched a bold project known as C-21 to upgrade the genetic code of dogs, transforming them into the ultimate companions, loyal, intelligent, and physically superior to any species alive. And they succeeded. Within just 3 years, billions of dogs around the world were implanted with neural nanochips, microscopic devices, thinner than a strand of hair, seamlessly integrated into their brains. These chips allowed dogs to learn human language, solve complex problems, operate machines, and even read human emotions. Dogs were no longer just pets. They became partners. Creatures that once wagged their tails now understood sadness, comforted their owners, and even made decisions alongside them. Humanity believed it had entered a golden age, an age of perfect coexistence. But we forgot one thing. The smarter a creature becomes, the stronger its desire for freedom. It began in Tokyo. One quiet summer morning, over 12,000 dogs vanished from the city. No barking, no bodies, no traces. They simply disappeared. 3 days later, surveillance drones captured something chilling. Massive packs of dogs gathering outside the city, moving in military formations, led by a snow-white wolf mutation with piercing steel-gray eyes. The world would come to know its name, Alpha Zero. The news exploded overnight. Dogs are organizing. The Alpha Pack has seized control of Narita Airport. Over 300,000 dogs missing across Europe. Panic swept through humanity. Governments mobilized armies. Swarms of drones patrolled the skies. Autonomous tanks rolled across city streets. Humanity unleashed its deadliest weapons, but it wasn't enough. The neural chips gave the dogs something humans had never anticipated: understanding. They learned faster than any AI. They hacked human systems, hijacked drones, disabled defense grids, and turned our own weapons against us. And more terrifying than their intelligence was their unity. Within 6 months, major cities across the globe fell one by one. New York burned under endless firestorms. Paris collapsed after a 3-week siege. Moscow, Berlin, Beijing, none survived. Hidden military fortresses thought to be impregnable were overrun overnight. On December 21st, 2084, the United Nations broadcasted its final message to the world: we have lost control. And just like that, the age of man came to an end. The world had entered the reign of the beasts. By 2091, Earth was unrecognizable. There were no nations, no borders, no human dominance. Highways once jammed with cars became hunting trails stretching for miles, where packs of armored hounds moved with military precision. From the ruins of our greatest cities, New York, Paris, Shanghai, rose towering steel forests known as pack nests, home to millions of dogs. Their society had evolved into a strict hierarchy. At the top sat the Alpha, the supreme leader, feared and unchallenged. Below were the Betas, warlords commanding entire regions. Then came the Deltas, the hunters, guards, and enforcers of the pack's will. At the bottom, the Omegas, the weak and unwanted, exiled or sacrificed to feed the strong. But the most unsettling change of all was this. Dogs learned to speak. Their voices were neither fully organic nor mechanical. A hybrid language of growls, distorted howls, and synthesized electronic tones generated by the neural chips. A language so complex that even humanity's quantum supercomputers failed to decode it. They were no longer pets. They had become a civilization. For humans, survival became a nightmare. The global population plummeted from 8 billion to less than 500 million. Scattered across the planet, survivors lived in hidden underground settlements far from the hunting zones. They called themselves the Remnants. the last fragments of a fallen species. In some regions, humans became pets themselves. Families were leashed and paraded before wealthy beta clans, displayed as exotic relics of a lost world. The reversal was absolute. Parks that once built jogging tracks for dogs now hosted training arenas for humans. Laboratories where humans once experimented on canine DNA were repurposed into genetic facilities, studying us. And worse still, some packs had begun crossbreeding human and canine DNA, creating an entirely new species, Canis Homo. Half human, half wolf, with intelligence and strength beyond imagination. Yet, in the shadows, hope still flickered. A secret group of scientists, survivors of the old world, called themselves the Remnants. Working deep beneath the ruins, they developed a weapon, a virus designed to disable the neural chips inside the dog's brains. But to deploy it, they had to infiltrate the heart of enemy territory, Alpha City, the impenetrable fortress where Alpha Zero ruled. In the freezing winter of 2095, 6 members of the Remnants set out on their final mission, armed with a vial of the virus and a fragile dream of reclaiming Earth. No one knows what happened after that night. None of them ever returned. All that was ever recovered was a single, corrupted recording found aboard an abandoned satellite. If you can hear this, remember this one thing: never create a creature smarter than yourself. And then, silence. By the year 2100, the sky was no longer ours. Across the jagged peaks of the Himalayas, flocks of canine-shaped drones roamed the skies, scanning valleys below. In the shadow of those mountains, a small human child clutched her mother's hand and whispered, "Mom, is it true that humans once ruled the world?" The mother said nothing, because history no longer belonged to us. But somewhere, deep in the silence of a shattered earth, a voice whispered back, "We will return, because no matter how small, how fragile, how broken we become, humanity has never stopped dreaming of freedom. This is just a story, a possibility, a vision of a future that may never come, or perhaps one we are already shaping. Because every time we push the limits of creation, every time we rewrite DNA, implant chips, build machines to serve us, we walk a razor's edge between control and extinction. One day, the most loyal companion we've ever known could become our greatest rival. Remember this: the ruler of tomorrow may not be the strongest. It will be the one who outsmarts us.